So there you are, in the middle of a video from your favorite YouTuber, when you hear it. Maybe it's an abrupt cut followed by a, "But before we get into that," where they're obviously splicing a segment into a video that was already finished. Or maybe they're being real clever and sneaky about it, subtly and in the context of the video, mentioning building a website, being too busy to make food, or protecting yourself online in a way that you might not notice the first time, but eventually you'll be able to sniff out by pure instinct. Whether it's one of these two situations or something in between, we've all been there. The dreaded sponsor read segue. It's not enough that you have to watch ads before, during, and after videos on YouTube. Now you get to watch them in the middle of actual content, even if you're paying YouTube to not have ads. God, don't you just love this platform? There are few things on earth more effective at killing a video's momentum than a shitty sponsor read. 1 minute you're listening to some dude talk about a video game, next thing you know, he's doing everything in his power to convince you that these shitty, overpriced microwave meals are totally worth your hard-earned money, or that this specific VPN with identical functionality to every other VPN is actually the best VPN, and you need to use their code to buy it right now, so you can watch Naruto on Netflix or something. Now naturally, being a Soda Crab viewer, you're smart enough to go to the grocery store and buy your own damn microwave meals, and you probably already know of 5 different places where you can watch whatever the hell you want for free. Not that I would condone that, of course. But even if you're completely immune to these influencers' wiles, and there's no chance in hell you're buying this shit, you still have to fumble around trying to skip the ad read without going over and missing 10 seconds of the actual video. Now, I'm not going to sit here and decry advertising in all of its forms. It's an essential component of doing business and an important part of our economy. After all, how are consumers supposed to buy a product they don't even know about? Beyond that, it would be extremely hypocritical of me to denounce advertising. Assuming you're not using an ad blocker, even though I really hope you're using one, I'm making advertising money on this video. I made the conscious choice to turn on monetization. So what makes me, and every other monetized creator on YouTube, any different? To me at least, the distinction is the proverbial social contract we sign when we decide to use YouTube. You as viewers consciously use this platform knowing that YouTube is going to show you ads, and also take all of your information and sell it, in exchange for using their platform free of charge. Maybe you're using an ad blocker, maybe you have YouTube Premium, but that's the basic idea. I, as a creator, receive a cut of the ad revenue from my videos in exchange for providing content for YouTube to monetize. Sure, YouTube's advertising can be intrusive at times, but in the big picture, everyone wins here. You get a free platform to watch free content, I get a free platform to host my content and monetize it with few strings attached, and YouTube gets content, ad money, and user metrics for investors. YouTube sponsorships, however, throw that entire balance out the damn window. You are already paying for your content through the ads YouTube itself shows you and the info they collect from you. By the time my video is playing on your screen, YouTube got their pound of flesh and I got my ad revenue, but so far, you've only paid a toll. Now it is your turn to receive your benefit in this exchange. But then, suddenly, with the toll already paid, I hit you with an ad for Mobile Legends of Idle Legends, worsening your user experience and giving you more advertising that you didn't already accept. The balance is completely upset here, and only the viewer loses. YouTube remains at neutral, they got theirs, but you, the viewer, are now getting a worse experience for strictly my benefit. That right there is the core issue with sponsorships for me. It's a cynical, selfish move. As dramatic as this sounds, I see it as a character issue. Anyways, this video is sponsored by Mobile Legends of Idle Legends. Over 1,000 heroes await you in this exciting new Idle RPG. Experience gorgeous 3D visuals, collect treasure and build bonds with your allies through an epic story. Battle other players with the incredibly intuitive PvP system. Save multiple weeks of free in-game currency for an opportunity to summon fuck all. Alternatively, pay 13 real dollars, holy shit, for one full summoning session, in which you will also get fuck all. Use the code in the description for a free 50% off your first battle pass, and make sure to join my guild, Soda Crab Guild, in which I will definitely be very active in all of the time. I look forward to seeing you in game. Thanks again to Mobile Legends of Idle Legends for helping introduce my child audience to gambling, sponsoring today's video. Okay, but really, I think it gets even more cynical when you look a little bit deeper. Going back to traditional YouTube ads for comparison, when you clicked this video, there's a good chance you saw an ad. Maybe it was an ad for the new Sonic game, since YouTube sees you're watching a gaming channel. Or maybe it was an ad for Sonic the restaurant. Whatever it was for, it was served up to you by YouTube. You know that I, Soda Crab, am not personally endorsing this product. It's simply a company showing you a product and hoping you're receptive to it, even if that product is Sonic's objectively horrible food. But when I read off that soulless Mobile Legends of Idle Legends script, that's not just the developers or the publishers advertising to you. It's not just a formality put there before my videos so everyone can benefit. I am actively abusing the trust, goodwill, and rapport I have built with you as a creator to peddle a product that I know is complete and total garbage. Even if I decided to shill a less blatantly disrespectful and predatory product, like the aforementioned generic VPNs, that's still not something I believe in. And you can bet your ass that your favorite creator does not give a single shit about this VPN either, or this website builder, or these overpriced earpods, wallets, and watches. Sure, Raycons, for example, might not be an objectively terrible product. I've never used them myself, but from what I understand, they're pretty middle-of-the-road Chinese Bluetooth earbuds. The catch, however, is that they have a much more premium price point than earbuds of analogous quality. Now, how can this be? How can they stay competitive, selling stuff for way more than it's worth in a saturated market like Bluetooth earbuds? Well, by paying creators to abuse the trust you have in their word and opinion. It might not be an outright scam, an objectively horrendous product, or baby's first gambling, but your favorite YouTuber is still taking money to screw you over. It just comes off as really disingenuous. I've always hated being on the receiving end of it, and the thought of doing it makes me feel kinda gross. Now, I don't think it's all that hot of a take to say that I hate YouTube sponsorships. I'm sure most of you feel the exact same way, but you've all seen the defenders. The "OMG, yes, he got sponsored, get that bag" commenters. Or maybe their slightly less obnoxious cousins, the "YouTubers have to eat too" people. And I have to say, I just do not agree. Of course, I'm not saying you shouldn't be compensated if you make great content that people enjoy. I do this strictly as a hobby, but I definitely still appreciate my hard work getting some returns. Like, I'm not so altruistic that I don't like money. But that there is just it. I've never taken a sponsor deal before, and yes, before you ask, I've gotten offers, but I'm still making money here. Creators are already compensated by YouTube ad revenue, and while I won't go into specifics because it's bad form to discuss other people's incomes, now that I've peeled back the curtain for myself by becoming a creator, when you do the math and scale up what I make to YouTubers that are big enough to get these regular sponsor deals, let's just say they're very fairly compensated by ad revenue. Dare I say, comfortably compensated. Most of these massive YouTubers that are pulling in thousands per month in sponsorships do not need them to make what you or I would consider a living. Ad revenue does that just fine, and that's before accounting for Patreon, memberships, stream donations, etc. No, of course, I'm talking about YouTubers on the larger end here. Obviously, there are more middle-of-the-road channels that are right on the margins, and the sponsorships push them right up to where they need to be to do YouTube full-time. And if these channels want to make that decision to take on a sponsor, that's up to them. But you, as a viewer, don't owe them being okay with a sponsorship. At most, you quote-unquote owe them ad revenue, and you don't even really owe them that. If your margins are so razor thin that you need to push a shitty product to make ends meet on YouTube, maybe you shouldn't be doing it full-time yet. As harsh as it might sound, no one is entitled to being a professional YouTuber. These commenters, however, make it seem like YouTubers are forced to choose between rent out my voice as a flesh puppet for a shitty company or starve to death. But there's a hidden third option. They can just refuse the sponsorship. Now, that being said, I'm not the arbiter of morality. I'm just a guy talking about my opinions through a crab PNG and hoping they resonate with people. While I want to point out that it's always an option to reject a sponsor, I'm not telling anyone not to take sponsorships, or saying someone is morally bankrupt or irredeemable if they do. Plenty of people have taken sponsorships, and plenty of people will continue to. But when YouTubers make the conscious decision to compromise their integrity by pushing that product they don't believe in, they are taking a risk. They are choosing to make your experience worse for their own benefit, and likely even taking advantage of you with predatory or usually at best subpar products. They're opening themselves up to all of this criticism, and if you as viewers feel alienated by it, you're well within your rights to complain, or even leave. Despite everything I've said in this video though, I still believe there is such a thing out there as good sponsorships. You'll notice this entire video so far has been about products that a creator is pushing while, at best, being oblivious to the fact they're overpriced garbage. But even if it's not something you already believe in, if you're going to take a sponsorship just for the extra cash, you should at the very least be responsible with what you choose to advertise. If a product is relevant to your viewers and you've done your due diligence and determined that it's a product with value, one that you would use even if a company didn't send you a free sample to advertise, then I personally wouldn't fault someone for that. Granted, you are still taking that risk of alienating viewers. At the end of the day, you're still upsetting YouTube's ad ecosystem, but as long as you can look yourself in the mirror and definitively say you aren't taking advantage of your viewers, I'm not here to police your morality. When push comes to shove, it's up to each individual creator to weigh the risks and determine what they're okay with advertising, and in turn, it's up to you as a viewer to decide what you are and aren't okay with being advertised. If you find a sponsorship particularly unethical, don't feel like you have to just roll over and take it. Let the creator know in that pinned comment that I'm sure they were paid for. Or you know what? Just leave. I've personally stopped watching plenty of creators because of it. They clearly don't need my viewership if they're getting that Hoyoverse money. Don't be afraid to vote with your voice and with your time. And while I'm not planning on taking any sponsorships anytime soon, feel free to hold me to the exact same standard if I ever fuck this up too. I guess what I'm really trying to say here, the real message I'm trying to get across with this video is, for the love of God, stop advertising gacha games if you make content about games for children. Like, I'm not gonna name any names, but holy shit. But on the topic of advertising things I believe in, I have an important announcement. As returning viewers may already be aware, Crustacean Party presidential candidate Jet the Hawk of Sonic Riders fame urgently needs each and every one of you to subscribe to the channel. Polling numbers showed a complete landslide victory for Jet in November, until the recent nomination of controversial candidate Edelgard von Hresvelg by the nemesis of the Soda Crab channel, Crustaceus, also known as the shrimp who slithers in the dark. In a stunning turn of events, Edelgard is now pulling ahead in key swing states, threatening Jet's path to 270 electoral votes. In light of this absolutely unprecedented development, a debate between these two candidates will be uploaded to the Soda Crab channel in the coming weeks. Like this video to show your support for Jet the Hawk, and subscribe to ensure that you don't miss this historic debate. Thank you.